My girlfriend texted, "I found someone else. I want nothing more to do with you." I replied, "As you wish." Then I blocked her cards and stopped funding her lifestyle. A week later, her attorney was frantically reaching out to me. I'm a 31-year-old male, a pretty simple guy on the surface. I run a logistics consulting firm. I started in my mid-20s with nothing but a second-hand laptop and a ton of anxiety. The first few years were brutal, 80-hour weeks, living on cheap noodles, reinvesting every penny. But about 2 years ago, I landed a major contract, then another. My niche business, after years of grinding, finally became very profitable. It affords me a comfortable life. For the last 3 years, that life included my girlfriend, Kayla, 28. When I met her, she was working as a receptionist, dreaming of being a fine arts curator. She had the passion but not the connections or financial freedom. I was smitten. My life had been all work, and she was this vibrant splash of color. I believed in her dream, and now, for the first time, I had the resources to help. I made her an offer: quit the job you hate, focus on your art history studies, take the unpaid internships, network, I'll cover everything. I thought we were a team investing in our future. I paid her rent for a chic, art-inspired apartment downtown, $3,500 a month. The lease on her Audi A5, $800 a month, which I co-signed. Her wardrobe, her organic groceries, her art supplies. I gave her 2 credit cards as an authorized user. I never checked the statements. I'm a consultant. My life is about managing details for others. In my own life, I just wanted to trust. It was our 3-year anniversary on Tuesday. I had reservations at a place she'd been wanting to try for months. I bought her a beautiful, simple sapphire necklace. I came home a little early, excited to surprise her. She wasn't there. At 7:15 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was a text from her. "Kayla, I found someone else. I want nothing more to do with you." That was it. 7 words after 3 years of me underwriting her entire existence. I stared at the screen for a long time. The initial shock felt like a physical blow, leaving me hollowed out and breathless. There was a moment, a brief one, where I almost typed a dozen frantic questions. Why? Who? What? Did I do wrong? But then a strange, cold clarity washed over me. The sheer brutal finality of her words, "nothing more to do with you," was, in its own way, a gift. It was unambiguous. She had drawn a line. She wanted nothing more to do with me. So I texted back a simple 3-word reply, "As you wish." Then I put my phone on silent. I opened my laptop, and the methodical part of my brain took over. It was like switching from being a partner to being a consultant. The problem: a terminated, non-binding personal arrangement. The solution: dissolve all associated financial ties. Credit cards, logged into my banking portal, removed Kayla as an authorized user from both cards. The system confirmed the deactivation was immediate. Car lease, logged into the auto finance portal. The lease was in my name, co-signed. I couldn't terminate it instantly, but the next payment was due in a week. I canceled the automatic payment. Apartment, the lease was in my name. I found the rental agreement PDF. The break clause required 60 days notice and a 2-month rent penalty, annoying but clean. I drafted a formal email to the property management company invoking the clause. I CC'd my personal email to have a timestamped record. Streaming and subscriptions: Netflix, Hulu, Spotify Family Plan, the boutique gym membership, the artisanal meal kit delivery. I went through them one by one, changed passwords, removed her profile. Phone: she was on my family plan. I initiated the process to remove her line. The whole process took about 45 minutes. When I was done, I felt nothing. Just empty. I packed an overnight bag, left the necklace on the kitchen counter, and went to stay with my brother, Louis. I didn't want to be there if she came back for her things. I didn't hear a peep for the rest of the week. The silence was its own confirmation. I figured she was busy. But on Friday afternoon, her card must have finally been declined somewhere important. The text started, first pleading, then confused, then angry. I read them but didn't reply. Then this morning, a full week later, I got an email. The subject line was, "Urgent regarding Kayla Vance." It was from a partner at a downtown law firm. He stated he was representing Miss Vance and needed to speak with me immediately regarding my summary and malicious cessation of established financial support. It seems my simple "as you wish" was not the end of the conversation. She expected an update. Update 1. Hey everyone, the comments on my original post were a huge help in grounding me. Thanks for that. This past week has been an education in audacity. As advised, I hired my own lawyer. My dad has used Mr. Phillip for business contracts for years. He's sharp, no nonsense, and after I explained the situation, he looked at me over his glasses and said, "Well son, it appears you've encountered a new species of predator." Mr. Phillip reviewed the email from Kayla's attorney, a guy named Mr. Bobby. He chuckled at the phrase malicious cessation, calling it the legal equivalent of an angry toddler throwing his toys. It's meant to sound scary but has no legal teeth. Mr. Phillip sent a crisp reply to Mr. Bobby. It stated that our clients were never married, had no joint assets, and that the relationship, and therefore the series of voluntary gifts associated with it, was terminated by Miss Vance herself. He ended by stating that any further communication should be directed through him. This didn't lead to a demand for $75,000. It led to something more insidious. Mr. Bobby sent back a formal letter proposing a confidential transitional support settlement. It was full of nonsense about Kayla's significant career and emotional investment in the relationship and how my abrupt withdrawal of support had caused her professional setbacks and severe emotional distress. They were proposing I continue to pay her rent and car payment for 6 months and give her a parting sum of $20,000 to avoid lengthy and public litigation. It was a shakedown, pure and simple. Mr. Phillip advised we ignore it completely. Let them spend their money. He said filing a lawsuit on this is malpractice. The real fun started when the consequences began to bite. On Saturday, I got a frantic call from the property manager of her old apartment, Judith. Kayla had shown up with her new boyfriend, Russell. They demanded a key, which Judith refused since Kayla wasn't on the lease. Kayla apparently caused a scene, yelling about her life's work being trapped inside. Russell, trying to play the big shot, told Judith, "We can make this very difficult for you." Judith, a woman who has seen it all, just pointed at the no trespassing sign and suggested he read it. Then came the text directly to me, ignoring the lawyers. "You can't just throw me out. My internship portfolio is in there. You know I have a review next week. They just called me from the Audi dealership, the payment was declined. The car is co-signed. You're ruining your own credit too. Are you stupid?" A bluff. My credit is fireproof, and one late payment, I intend to settle, wouldn't dent it. But nice try. Russell is a good man. He's a real estate developer and can't believe how she's acting. He says, "You're playing games you can't win." I didn't reply. I screenshotted everything and sent it to Mr. Phillip. He was delighted. Direct contact after counsel has been engaged? She's a gift that keeps on giving. The dirtiest trick came yesterday. A mutual acquaintance sent me a screenshot of Kayla's private Instagram story. It was a teary-eyed selfie. The caption read, "Finally escaping a financially abusive and controlling relationship. The road ahead is terrifying, but I'm so grateful for those showing me what real support looks like. Survivor." She was painting me as an abuser for no longer paying for her life after she dumped me for another man. Mr. Phillip is now drafting a cease and desist letter regarding slander. We've arranged for her to get her stuff. I have to pay 2 neutral movers to be there, and her lawyer has to be present. This time, I'm making sure there's a clear inventory list. She really thought she could just swap me out like a provider, call it quits, and keep all the benefits. Unbelievable. Update 2. This whole saga has taken a turn I didn't expect. The move out was a disaster, but not in the way I predicted, and the fallout from her little survivor stunt has started to ripple outwards in ways I never orchestrated. The move out was scheduled for a Saturday. You can click on share and more to see if there is a part 2.